Hi, I'm Patrice, and I initially went in for a hearing test because my husband claimed that I was suffering from hearing loss. So to prove him inaccurate in that statement, I had a hearing test, and lo and behold, he was absolutely right on. I have hearing loss. So the next step was looking at hearing devices, hearing aids, and that dragged my feet on that because, of course, I think my feelings are like a lot of people is, oh my gosh, I've never heard of anyone having a positive experience with hearing aids. Also, oh my gosh, it makes me feel old, very old, because unlike glasses, you don't see young people walking around with them necessarily. So, dragging my feet, I still went in and had hearing aids. However, within 2 days of getting my hearing aids, I was in love with them. And I called up back to the office and said I love them because they made such a difference in my life. All of a sudden, my cell phone was no longer at fault for me not being able to understand conversations that I was having on my cell phone. I could pass people in the hallway, they could say something to me, and I actually didn't have to really stop and think really hard about what they were saying to me. I understood it, like right when they said it. My meetings at work were much easier to understand people that were either on the phone using via teleconferencing or even sitting in the room and I couldn't see their lips moving. I could understand what they were saying. And the other thing is I didn't go home from work at the end of the day with severe mental fatigue. And then the next thing that happened is I went out to dinner in a restaurant, which I had normally loved and adored, but had over the years stopped doing because, again, it felt like people were mumbling as we were having a conversation at the table. I couldn't understand them. I could see their lips move, but I couldn't quite understand what they were saying. Well, lo and behold, went out to dinner at a noisy restaurant. I understood what they were saying. I could even understand the people at the table behind me, which I never even tried before. But my friends told me I was becoming very obnoxious because I was always saying, I can hear you, I can understand you. And then the other thing is that movie theaters, I was always having to lean over and say to my husband, what'd they say? Well, last weekend we went to the movie theater and he was the one leaning over to tell me, or to ask me. He was the one leaning over to ask me and say, what'd they say? And I could actually tell him. So, bottom line is, I love my bionic ears, my hearing aids, and I recommend anyone that has any question to go get a test and to get devices appropriately fitted.